Salveti amici, Magister Vicky here with an advanced tip for Imperator Rome. We finance professors have hobbies, and one of mine is playing Imperator Rome. I'm creating a collection of advanced tips I've learned while playing this game in case you want to have a study break or play Crusader Kings and Imperator. This is the 8th and final video going over the Bloodline traits in the Invictus mod, current as of the 1.9 series updates. If they add new ones in a future update, I will make new videos after this one. I'm going to cover what the bonus is, where to find him at game start. In this case, you can't find him at game start, to help you decide if pursuing the Bloodline would be feasible or useful. In almost all cases, you can't do it. Now, in this video, I'm covering all the Bloodlines that are available through events or mission trees that do not commonly appear. So basically, unless you are playing this country, you are probably not going to see this Bloodline. There are one or two that sometimes show up, sometimes, but for the most part, these are only going to show up if you choose to play this country. So hey, if you want to see this cool Bloodline, you can play this country. Alright, so the first one is the Mahout Bloodline. This little country around here, Fugandudu, has a mission tree. You complete the mission tree, and you're going to get this Bloodline. It gets 5% movement and 5% offensive to elephants for commanders. This is a very situational bonus. Now, of course, your culture is going to have, should have elephants, although this one doesn't, so it's actually maybe completely useless. But it depends on if you use elephants. Otherwise, it's completely pointless. If you do have elephants, well, elephants are really slow, so having more movement speed is actually kind of nice. Alright, so that is this guy way over here to the far east of India. Next one is the Bloodline for Turdentia. So one of the countries with the Turdentian culture group, if you consolidate, form the Turdentia country, you'll get a mission tree. You can get this Bloodline through that mission tree. And this one gives you 5% commerce and 10% build cost reduction to rulers. So that's a decent economic boost, so pretty good Bloodline. Next, over to Veneto. So there is a hidden Bloodline here. It's found in the Patavium mission tree, which is a hidden country. You have to start as Veneto, you have to do some special things. You can find guides for that. And once you complete the tree, get to the Bloodline, it gives you -1 unrest and 10% freeman output for governors, and it gives you 5% defensive for light cavalry for commanders. So governor bonuses are pretty decent, helping with unrest, income, and manpower. The combat bonus, of course, depends on your culture, and your culture, I think, changes to like Spartan or something like that during the mission tree. So, but as long as you have light cavalry, it would be useful. If you don't, it's not. Alright, next one. Blood of Arhan, found in the mission tree for Albania. So this one, again, you complete the mission tree, you'll get the Bloodline trait. It gives one thing, 5% political influence. It's a really good thing, so it's actually a pretty good Bloodline, because political influence is so hard to come by. Alright. Next one is another really hidden one, Blood of Shashtatar. This is a hidden formable. You need to have Hindu culture, so one of these, that's one of the Hindu from India, and then you need to go over to Assyria, so over here, this area, in order to form it. So Hindu culture and have the Assyria area. It gives 5% morale to chariots for commanders. It gives 5% political influence and 0.03 stability per month for rulers. Ruler bonuses are amazing here. Chariot bonus, if your culture uses chariots, a lot of Indian cultures do, so it's probably going to be useful for you. It creates a really good Bloodline. Good luck forming the country, but once you actually form it, it's going to be a great Bloodline. Next one. There are a paired Bloodline here, Blood of Obodid and Blood of Eretid. and they come from the Nabatea mission tree. As far as I can tell by reading the files, this is a mutually exclusive, so you pick one or the other. The Obedid one gives 15% desert and mountain combat bonus to rulers. There's lots of deserts and mountains in Arabia, so it's useful in your local area, but of course, if you're fighting somewhere else, it might not be so helpful. It won't be that helpful. The other one gives you 5% commerce and 5% manpower for rulers. This is, of course, a more consistent bonus because you always get more money and more manpower, but it doesn't boost your combat power. Next, AETs. This is a bloodline in the Colchis tree. This is one of the rare ones where the AI sometimes pulls it off because they have to build their wonder as part of their mission tree. Once they do that, they get the bloodline. So if they survive and do okay, they might actually build their wonder, and then they get the bloodline. This one gives 2 bonuses to Senate influence for some reason, not sure why. So there's a 25% bonus to all characters, if Republic. Then there's a standard ruler bonus that is based on government type. So there's 0.05 centralization with tribal, 0.05 legitimacy for monarchs, and 10% Senate influence if Republic. Not sure why they have 2 Senate influence bonuses, but that's just a decision by the modders. It also gives 0.03 population growth to governors and 5% political influence to rulers. You get political influence, it's always a great bloodline. There's also all this extra stuff. There's tons of bonuses for this bloodline. Okay, bloodline. Next one is Blood of Forkos. So this is the Nuragic. So this little culture group religion over here, they start out very weak and small. If you form their mission tree, you get this bloodline. It's going to give you 0.03 population growth to governors, -5 aggressive expansion impact, and -5 score reduction to rulers. So you get an AE reduction. That's always good. Not quite as good as the 10% you see on some other bloodlines, but still a good bonus. Next one, Blood of Farnazid. Back over to the Caucasus. Iberia has this bloodline. It again comes from their event/mission tree. It gives 5% state religion happiness to governors, and then 5% omen strength, 5% oratory research speed, and 0.03 provincial loyalty to rulers. So the loyalty bonus and happiness bonus are really good. The other ruler bonuses are not so great, but it's really good bloodline. Then, bloodline of the Albion Kings. So if you start off in the British Isles, you consolidate it, you form Albion, you get this bloodline. It gives 5% morale recovery to all units, both ships and land units, for commanders. And it gives negative 15% deify cost and 0.04 legitimacy for rulers. There's no bonuses for republics or tribals, although I think by forming this you are becoming a monarchy, so you're not going to be anything but a monarchy. This one's actually not that great compared to many of these bloodlines. Saving political influence on deifying, it's nice, but we don't deify that much. Legitimacy is okay, but again, not that great. Morale recovery, again, decent. It helps you recover the morale after battles or when you're first raising troops, but a lot of situational bonuses here. Now we get to the really good ones. Blood of Bharata. So Bharata is a formable in India. Basically, if you conquer most of India, you can form it. This one gives +1 finesse, 5% influence, and -0.15 unrest for rulers. So it gives a stat bonus. That makes it amazing by itself. More political influence makes it great too. The unrest is actually quite helpful because it applies to your entire country, so new provinces will have a little bit less unrest. It'll take longer for them to revolt. It's very good bonuses, and you have to conquer India to get it, so it should be good. And the next one, Blood of David, is actually coming from either Judea or Samaria, because they have the similar mission tree here. So a very early event in Judea, Samaria gives you this. You get +1 charisma, +5 air support. You get 5% archer discipline to commanders, and 0.03 monthly stability to rulers. So you get a stat bonus. You get a stability bonus. Both are really good. And you get this really early. So if you start playing Judea within a few years, you'll get this event. The current family, the Zadok bloodline family, will get kicked out, and they'll get replaced by a brand new ruler who has this bloodline of David. Also tends to have really good stats in other ways too. And sticking around right here, next one is the Dido bloodline, like the person from the Aeneid. And if you form Phoenicia using one of these little guys here, which would be quite an accomplishment, but you get a reward for doing it. This is coming from that mission tree that the formed Phoenicia gets. It gives 50% fertility to all characters, and then gives 5% commerce and 10% city reduction cost to rulers. Fertility probably doesn't matter too much. You usually don't have issues having at least a few children from every married couple. You get some money bonuses from reduction in city cost and commerce. It's not actually that great of a bloodline, given how hard it probably is to form, but it is what it is. And then the very last one is the only other one that actually occasionally shows up. So there is a small formable in Greeks called Achaia. So a city-state in one of these city-states can form it, and they can get an event, which generates a minor character called Aratus, a historical character. His bloodline gives 2% Senate influence. These guys tend to be republics when they form it, when they trigger the event. It gives 10% defense to spearmen, if you're a commander, and it also gives 20% garrison size of ruler. So this bloodline's useless. Well, if you have spearmen, it gives you a small bonus to your commanders, but garrison size is pointless, especially against AI, because they never assault, and Senate influence is a small bonus anyways, and doesn't really help you that much. So, while this bonus will sometimes show up in the wild, so to speak, it's also a really terrible bonus. So, you get what you paid for. Okay, so overall, these are all the hidden bonuses, as far as I can tell, based on just reading the mod files. And as you might have noticed, there are some really good ones here. But that makes sense. There are rewards for being really successful with a pretty weak country. And some of them are really bad too, like the Aratus one. But if you really want one of these, you're basically going to have to play a campaign using that country, with the exception of maybe Colchis, maybe Aratus. So, if you found this video helpful for your study break, or for planning your next campaign, please comment, like, and/or subscribe so that others can find this video too. Happy not studying or playing Crusader Kings.